So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Mary Rowlandson, and Mary Rowlandson was a young woman who came to the New World in 1637, and she was one of the few survivors of a massacre that happened between the Native Americans and the Puritans at that time. Her house was captured, and a lot of the people in it were captured, and a lot of the people that were in her house died. And so her house was kind of a big house. A lot of people would go there. And so one of the the theme of hardship is prevalent in that early part where she describes a lot of the bloodshed. She says that at one point, the house is on fire, bullets are coming in through the door, and if you try to go out through any window or door, there was a Native American there ready to split your head open. And so that is a big hardship. But with hardship comes the theme of God's providence, where she says, "Yet it seemed good to the Lord to save some of us from captivity." And so she talks about that she was one of the few people who was taken. There were 24 people taken into captivity, and she was one of them. Her daughter was taken into captivity too. An example of prayer that's demonstrated in her work is early on. She talks about a widow who lost all her children during the massacre, and she lifts her head up and says out to the Lord, "Please, Lord, just take me with them. Let me die with them." And then a bullet comes and goes right through her, and she actually dies on the spot. And so here's an example of prayer. Whether or not that was God responding to her or listening to her, I'll let you guys figure that out. And then for lament, when she's captured and she looks back at her house, she says, "Oh, how doleful the sight of our house." Okay, so it's just talking about like how depressing and sad it is to look back and you see this house where so many people had just died, and then it's burned down to the ground, and this is a place where it was her home. Finally, the last motif of worship is evident when, after her daughter dies in captivity, she says she praises God that God somehow kept her sanity, and God kept her brain, like, and her emotions good, that she did not do something like kill herself while she was out in the wilderness. She was giving thanks to God for that. So that's a little bit about Mary Rowlandson. That was about a 2-minute presentation. So if you guys go a minute and a half, that's great. Yeah, I don't need too much information. It's informal. It's okay if you say It's okay if you look down at your notes for a second. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Okay, bye.